Dental Fuel, the podcast that focuses on what no one else is talking about: mistakes. The dental world is full of before and afters, and no one is talking about the middle. Dental Fuel brings you the unspoken in between. Dental Fuel is brought to you by Ignite DDS Coaching, empowering dentists to build self-determined futures. Together, we're shaping the next generation of leaders in dentistry. Working as a team is important in a clinical setting, but also in a dental lab. Elvis shares his humorous and insightful perspective on challenges and joys he has experienced in a lab environment. Let's tune in. Elvis, I'm curious to know a little bit about teamwork and building a team in a lab, and maybe some teams that you have seen be a little bit dysfunctional or functional, both in a lab setting and in a clinical setting.
There's no such thing as dysfunction in a lab. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's just harmonious and everything works fantastic.
Rainbows, unicorns, we dance all day.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. We have as much drama as you have clinically. We all share those exact same problems, drama and issues and people's personal lives getting mixed in. We see it all, and we work just as close as you do in the clinical office. I mean, I would say the biggest thing is with technicians is we all want to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to put our whatever on it. We all want to. I don't care if it comes out from the last technician, it comes to me and the thing is beautiful. I'm probably still going to go and just be like, yeah, well, just needed that, and it really
helped you.
Yeah. I just have to touch it. Digitally and modelless, we're getting a little bit farther away from that, which is probably a good thing. But every technician has an opinion. I always used to say you could have 3 scans from the same patient, go to 3 different labs, you'll get 3 different crowns. They'll be similar, but they'll all be slightly different, because we all have an opinion on what's right. I would say that's probably the most unique thing with labs compared to, just any other business in our personnel issues.
Mm-hmm.
Clinically, what do I see? Same thing.
Yeah. I would say, we're not that different, really, from what I'm hearing. Is we have similar problems, issues. We have similar opinions. You get 10 dentists in a room, you're going to get the same thing as well, too.
Absolutely. The only difference is we're usually in the basement in the dark, and you guys are, and you have to talk to the public. We don't have to talk to the public. We don't put our hands in people's mouths. So
yeah, y'all are kind of like a radiologist, kind of hidden in the dark, like gargoyles.
Yep. I worked 13 years in a basement at a lab.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does like, I'm assuming it had fluorescent lighting. Does that impact or affect?
We had color correcting lighting, and then on the bench there's special bulbs that you get for proper lighting, and the ceramists have their own thing,
Okay. Are there things that you miss doing
working on the bench?
Yeah.
I miss the people. I honestly do. I mean, drama aside, it was fun to really work with people. I miss this is going to sound crazy, but every lab is basically putting out fires all day long, right? I mean, every business is, but labs especially. Any lab that tells you they don't, they're lying. And that was my job, putting out those fires. And when I stopped doing that, it was hard for me to I have to find work compared to work being thrown at me when I was in the lab. I mean, people were walking up to me all day with case pans and this problem and this and this. This person needs a call and I need you to handle this. And I didn't even have to plan my day. But now I have to,
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
Different. Yeah, just different. Sometimes those fires just add a little bit of spice to our life.
I was good at it, I guess. Well, what about you as a clinician? Do you take finances as choosing a lab?
That's a great question. And now you're interviewing me. The bench has turned.
It has.
So I'm in a little bit different kind of setting. And so I'm in a public health setting. And, I don't have a whole lot of oversight on the actual bill. So, I could probably choose any lab that I'd like, but to help keep costs down, absolutely. I try and see, different labs that are at least close together, and I try and stick to those labs. And they're good. And it's hard because being in a rural area, we don't have anybody close by. Like, I would love for somebody to come by, chairside and help me out and give me their opinion. But it doesn't happen out here because we're just a little bit too far. We're really not that far from the main city, but no one wants to travel out here, which is kind of challenging. But
interesting.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how many clinicians don't want my help. It's really surprising to me. Like, they'll send work, they have an issue, I'm like, let me know, when can I be there? When's the patient? And they're just like, no, it's okay, we got this. I'm like, okay.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know if they're worried of an ego, if they're worried that they know what they're doing wrong, or they just don't care. And let me tell you, there's people in the world that are like that.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's dental offices out there that need inexpensive lab work because they're dealing with a Medicare, Medicaid, low income population. I get it, but I don't think money should be your only choice on choosing a lab.
Right.
And it's not always quality of work either.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes, like I mentioned, sometimes it's communication. Sometimes it's turnaround time. Sometimes it's, willingness to help. Someone you can treatment plan with. There's a lot of labs there's a lot of clinicians out there using the big labs like Glidewell and stuff. You call over there, you never know who you're talking to.
Right. Yeah.
And if that fits your office, more power to you.
Yeah. We use Glidewell for a few things, but there are a few things that I absolutely just won't use them for.
Sure.
Because the consistency, right? It's hard to have that consistency. And if I can get a hold of a similar lab tech, man, I just try to latch onto them. And, you have periods of consistency and things are great and it's seamless and it's nice. But there are other periods where it just doesn't work out that way. But, going back to having somebody come out chairside, in El Paso, we do have somebody who is a registered dental assistant as well. He has his own lab and he'll go into the clinic and he'll help. And from what I understand, people really welcome that. And I would love to welcome that. I'm here to learn. I feel like just dentistry is just so big. And, you all see a different end of what dentistry is from the other side. And so anything that, in my opinion, anything that you all can impart to make things better, I think is just so huge and so rewarding.
And vice versa.
Right.
I have learned so much in my last year and a half with Derby being chairside. It's unbelievable what I've been able to pick up. And then I share it.
I hope our conversation with Elvis Dahl has allowed you to appreciate your lab technician a little bit more. Tune in next week where Elvis bestows some expert advice. Ready to take the next step in your journey? Book an intro call with Ignite DDS Coaching today and level up your future in dentistry.